The Texas Hold'em Paradox, a poker-themed sci-fi story written and narrated for someone who never folds. Prologue. The cards were always marked.
In the farthest spiral arm of the Milky Way, well beyond the reach of satellites or starlight, a game older than language played out across the cosmos. Not a war, not a negotiation, a game, one with rules so fluid they could be mistaken for philosophy. The stakes, civilization itself, the medium, deception. The species that mastered this game first were not the strongest nor the fastest, but the most cunning. They didn't conquer planets with fleets. They infiltrated with charm, reshaped histories with clever myths, and collapsed governments with carefully timed bluffs. For them, truth was a liability. And on one particular sapphire blue planet, they found the perfect laboratory, Earth. When these travelers arrived so long ago that Stonehenge wasn't even a sketch in the dirt, they found competitors, the Neanderthals, strong, fierce, principled, deeply communal, and devastatingly honest, tragically exploitable. The newcomers, distant genetic cousins of the Homo sapiens they would later spawn, saw a singular, elegant opportunity, breed the bluff into existence. They didn't fight the Neanderthals directly. They seduced, interbred, outthought, and outlied. They engineered situations, not battles. Tribes vanished in the night, not because of war, but because of whispered rumors and doctored stone tablets. Entire migrations were redirected by fabricated legends, and when it was done, history had been rewritten. The bluffers remained, becoming modern humans, and the others, driven underground. A few survived. They watched, they learned, and eventually they evolved too. Flash forward to the present, or something resembling it. Poker is now a global pastime, revered, televised, monetized, and utterly misunderstood. The public sees it as a game of cards and math, but it was always more than that. It was ritual, a reenactment of that first cosmic conflict, a subtle echo of origin. Now, buried beneath the glittering sprawl of Las Vegas, hidden beneath faux Egyptian casinos and discount buffets, the final round was being staged. 5,000 players, one winner, one chance to reshape everything. Some came for glory, others for money, but a select few, they were here to reclaim what had been lost. Among them, Daniel Negreanu, legendary in skill, disarming in charm, and, though he didn't yet know it, a direct descendant of those ancient cosmic bluffers, a walking paradox. He would play not just for chips, but for legacy, and in the shadows, watching with razor-sharp eyes and a penchant for cunning, stood a single enforcer, Donna Goldberg. She wasn't supposed to interfere, but then again, every good bluff starts with a lie. Tonight the cards would fall, and the universe would remember who marked them first.
A voice in the room.
Before we go any further, allow a brief interjection. This story is being read aloud tonight to none other than Donna Goldberg. Yes, that Donna, in honor of her wedding anniversary. You might object. You might claim coincidence, deny resemblance, or wave off the similarities with a smirk and a well-timed misdirect. But deep down, you know, the truth folds slowly. Donna was, and still is, the sharpest-eyed, coolest-headed Squid Game guard the galaxy never meant to employ. She altered the tournament not once, not twice, but arguably 3 times, if one includes the infamous chip scanner debacle and the case of the mislabeled latte. And we do, of course we do. This is her story too, because in a galaxy of bluffs, double crosses, and cosmic chip counts, she never folded. Happy anniversary, Donna. Now, let the game begin.
Chapter 1. The First Shuffle.
It began in Las Vegas, not the Vegas of glittering lights and endless entertainment, but a Vegas that loomed beneath shadows and secrets. A city beneath the city. 5,000 souls, desperate, driven, or simply daring, had gathered under one roof for the most unprecedented event ever staged, an elimination Texas Hold'em tournament where the stakes weren't just chips, but life itself. Daniel Negreanu stepped from the limo, rubbing his palms together as he breathed in the sharp desert air. He wore a comfortable hoodie, his trademark smirk, and the kind of mental readiness only decades of high-stakes games could instill. Inside, odds ticked in his brain with mechanical elegance. This wasn't like any tournament he'd faced. The invitation was vague. One table, one winner, 5,000 competitors. And once the doors closed, there was no going back. The entrance was hidden in a false elevator shaft, tucked behind a men's room stall, inside a bar known more for conspiracy theories than drinks. It led to a descent that took 4 minutes. When the doors opened, Daniel stepped into a stadium-sized chamber that looked like a cross between the Roman Colosseum and a Stanley Kubrick hallucination. Hundreds of poker tables lined the space beneath a sea of sterile white lights. Each chair was filled. Some players hunched over their chips with fierce intensity. Others lounged with unsettling calm. Overhead, a blood-red digital scoreboard displayed a single word: begin.
Idiots. They've put me in a room with idiots again.
Helmuth adjusted his sunglasses and angrily bit into a granola bar as if it had personally offended him.
50-1 this ends in alien blood, or mine. Same diff.
Mattisau lounged in his seat, muttering to himself, eyes darting from player to player. Daniel took in the familiar faces. Phil Ivey sat stone still, his expression unreadable. Vanessa Selbst leaned back, her gaze razor-sharp. Doyle Brunson looked entirely unsurprised by any of it, like he'd already seen how it would all end. Then came the voice, calm, commanding, omnipresent. It sounded like a casino dealer cross-wired with a military-grade AI.
Welcome, competitors. Tonight begins the ultimate test of skill, deception, and survival. The rules are simple. Survive each round of Texas Hold'em to progress. When you lose your chips, you lose everything. Only one will emerge victorious.
The room responded without hesitation. Masked, silent dealers moved into position, flicking cards across felt with robotic speed. Chips clacked in a rhythm that echoed like distant artillery. Players leaned in. Some hands ended quickly. Others dragged on like Shakespearean tragedies. It didn't take Daniel long to notice something off. At table 11, a player never blinked. Not once. Their hand movements were flawless. Too flawless. The way they checked the flop felt rehearsed, devoid of instinct, something inhuman. Daniel's gaze drifted to Helmuth across the room. They exchanged a subtle nod. Players were being eliminated fast, and not quietly. Some vanished mid-hand, escorted down shadowy tunnels by guards clad in black armor with faceless, insect-like helmets. Word spread: if you lost, you didn't just leave, you disappeared. During a break, Daniel met with Helmuth and Mattisau behind a vending machine that only offered decaffeinated regret.
Danny, something's wrong. Half these people, they're not people.
What do you mean?
Aliens. Government pulled us in years ago. We've been tracking them. This is their end game. They're trying to win Earth through poker.
That makes absolutely no sense.
Does anything in poker?
Fair.
Daniel's mindset shifted. He stopped just reading hands. He started reading body language, micro-movements, even breath patterns. Some didn't breathe, at least not on human intervals. Some smelled faintly of ozone. One even gave off the scent of glass cleaner and stale secrets. He spotted Antonio the magician Esfandiari gliding between tables like a wandering illusion, casually flipping chips and sometimes making them vanish mid-air. In one memorable hand, Antonio appeared to turn pocket sixes into pocket rockets. No one could say how.
Esfandiari, are you cheating or evolving?
Both, amigo.
As the number of players fell below 1,000, the environment shifted. Tables merged, blinds doubled, the very air felt weighted. Players stopped talking. Daniel watched as one woman was escorted away after botching a flush draw. The guard collecting her moved with unsettling grace, unlike the others. It was Donna. Their eyes met just for a second. Then she looked away, and Daniel knew this wasn't just a tournament, it was a reckoning.
Chapter 2. The Telltale Terrors.
By the time the player count dropped into the triple digits, the atmosphere inside the underground arena had changed entirely. The air felt heavier now, like it was being pumped in from some forgotten moon where fear was a native element. Each shuffle of the deck sounded like the swing of a guillotine. Every dealt card landed with the weight of a verdict. Daniel found himself seated across from a rail-thin woman. Her eyes shimmered with a silvery gleam, and her smile never wavered. It wasn't human. It was perfect. Too perfect. Every move she made was mechanical, raising and folding with emotionless precision, as if each decision had been algorithmically calculated before the hand began. Her name tag read, Sarah. Daniel didn't buy it. He wasn't alone in his suspicion.
Phil Hellmuth, who had now abandoned strategy in favor of alien hunting paranoia, had created a mental tier system for identifying non-humans at the tables. Category A, stiff blinks. Category B, cold, too smooth. Category C, creepily polite. Sarah, in his estimation, was firmly B-. One eyebrow twitch from being promoted to full B status.
Hey, Sarah, does your species make eye contact in the mirror?
Yes.
That's what a liar would say.
Mike, we're trying to play a hand here.
I am playing. This is psychological warfare.
Just then, Antonio Esfandiari pirouetted past their table, gliding like fog wrapped in charisma. Without touching anyone, he somehow dropped a playing card behind another player's ear.
Watch the river.
The river card, when it came, was a queen. One too many for the deck. Meanwhile, Daniel focused on his own hand. Pocket nines, the flop, 9 of clubs, 5 of diamonds, 5 of spades. A full house. Sarah checked. Her face remained fixed in that unsettling half-smile. Daniel bet. She called, smooth, mechanical. Turn, 2 clubs. Daniel pushed again. She matched him instantly. The river came down, ace of diamonds. Before Daniel could count his chips, Sarah pushed her entire stack forward.
All in.
Daniel narrowed his eyes. Nothing. No twitch, no flicker, no sign of nerves.
You don't blink, you don't sweat, you haven't even touched your water glass.
I hydrate through dermal osmosis.
She froze, then added a second too late.
I mean, I don't get thirsty.
She said the quiet part loud.
I call.
Sarah revealed pocket aces, quad aces. The room gasped. Daniel stared at the board. His full house crumbled into irrelevance.
You got me.
Sarah gave a single silent nod. Guards began to approach, dark-armored, faceless, wordless. But then one of them hesitated. Donna. She stepped forward and scanned the chips with a sleek handheld device.
Discrepancy, chip count incomplete. 1 denomination missing.
Impossible.
Protocol 14-9A.
Donna slid a glowing red chip from her belt and placed it into Daniel's stack.
Full count correction. Hand will be rerun.
Sarah's eyes twitched. Just once.
She saved him. That's illegal, unless it's in my favor. Then it's strategy.
The room reset. The cards reshuffled. The game continued, and something deeper began to unravel. Chapter 3. Pocket Rockets and Panic Attacks.
By the time Table 31 had whittled down to 5 survivors, tension had evolved into something else, something tangible. The air itself seemed to resist movement. Each chip placed echoed like a warning. Bets became challenges. Folds felt like confessions. Daniel found himself surrounded by a cast that could only exist in a universe slightly off kilter. To his left sat a British pro known simply as Grinshaw. His voice was like a disappointed librarian's, and his scarf writhed with a mind of its own. Next to Grinshaw, a Twitch streamer called Flush Princess offered psychic commentary directly to her followers via neural implants. Her every blink triggered overlays on screens across multiple continents, some of them on Earth. Beside her, a being called Kari, genderless, hairless, and cloaked in iridescent skin, sat in meditative stillness. The air around Kari shimmered slightly, bending light as if reality itself was uncomfortable near them. And at the head of the table, calm and ancient, was Doyle Brunson. Doyle hadn't spoken once. He didn't need to. Every chip he touched moved with the gravitas of a man who had seen timelines collapse and cattle empires rise. His silence carried sermons. His folds were warnings from prophets.
Daniel looked at his hole cards. Aces, rockets.
Raise.
Kari tilted their head, processing 1,000 simulations in the span of a breath.
Call.
Grinshaw folded with a well-practiced sigh of moral superiority.
Disappointing.
Flush Princess raised, voice echoing with that strange, filtered cheer only neural broadcasting influencers could manage.
I feel it. The cosmos likes me this hand.
Daniel didn't blink.
All in.
Flush Princess hesitated. Kari didn't.
Call.
Nope. Vibes shifted.
She folded. Her digital followers groaned in real time. Daniel revealed the rockets. Kari flipped over 9 of spades, 10 of spades. Suited connectors. The flop, J of spades, Q of spades, 8 of diamonds.
You've got to be kidding me.
There is no joke.
The turn, 2 hearts, safe. Daniel's pulse steadied. The river, 7 of spades, straight flush. A silence fell. Matuso from another table bellowed,
I told you they're not human.
That was a perfect draw.
Perfection is not rare in my species. It is required.
A faceless guard approached, not Donna. This one moved like a final answer, but before Daniel could rise, a voice cut through the arena, sharp, direct.
Hold. Reviewing surveillance overlay.
The guard froze mid-stride. Kari flinched, barely perceptible, but Daniel saw it. Donna emerged from the shadows, holding a holographic tablet. It shimmered with data too complex for human eyes.
Table 31's shuffle algorithm was compromised. Suits were reordered. Probabilities manipulated. This hand is void.
Kari hissed, literally hissed, like steam from a pressure valve.
Disqualification protocol enacted.
2 towering guards seized Kari by the arms, dragging them backward as they muttered something about entropy and fairness in a dialect not meant for mouths. Flush Princess blinked rapidly, sinking to something only she could see.
Did she just save you again?
Daniel turned toward Donna. She didn't say a word, but beneath that visor, he swore there was the shadow of a smirk. Doyle finally broke his silence.
You'd better win this thing, son. I've got bets riding on you with beings that don't forget losses.
Daniel laughed, but only a little. Chapter 4, Folding Dimensions.
The next table Daniel approached wasn't really a table. It was a floating slab of obsidian, octagonal, levitating in a magnetic field suspended over a pit that shimmered with electric blue energy. The floor beneath him pulsed with a rhythm, as if the arena itself had a heartbeat. The air had an unnatural charge, as though the room were holding its breath. The announcer's voice, now modulated through something less human and more cosmic, boomed from nowhere and everywhere.
Welcome to the quantum rounds. Fold wisely. The consequences are non-linear.
Phil Hellmuth, somehow still in the game despite having tantrumed his way through several rules and chairs, looked green.
This isn't Hold'em anymore. This is interdimensional heads-up psychodrama.
I'm sorry, what's the blind structure?
Whatever your soul can afford.
Antonio had now donned a magician's cloak, seemingly woven from shadows. His grin suggested he was enjoying the descent into metaphysical absurdity.
Relax. It's just poker, with slightly more existential dread.
A new player arrived, not a person, but a sentient fog. It drifted toward the table, its form constantly swirling. It introduced itself by humming the entirety of Bach's Brandenburg Concerto No. 1. 3. In reverse. Donna stood far off in the periphery, her figure still, visor down, but Daniel could feel her eyes tracking every movement. She had become more than a presence. She was a warning. The first hand was anything but ordinary. Daniel glanced down, King-Jack suited. The fog pulsed. That was apparently a raise.
I fold. This fog gives off bad juju.
I've beaten scarier shapes.
He tossed in a call. Daniel hesitated, then matched the bet. The flop came, King of Diamonds, Jack of Spades. And then, something else. Not a card, a symbol, a fog glyph, swirling and alive. The table trembled faintly.
What's a fog card worth?
I think it represents a dual state of both queen and void.
Cool, I'll check.
The fog pulsed again. A bet.
Yeah, no, that's above my pay grade.
Antonio folded. Daniel called. The turn, 10 of clubs. The river, another fog glyph, identical but blinking red. The table rose 6 inches and spun a full rotation.
I'm all in.
No one knew the rules anymore. Daniel doubted even the fog did. The fog withdrew. If a cloud could fold, it just did. The room exhaled. Donna's voice filtered through a hidden mic, soft and resolute.
That's 4. You're the last one left. I can help.
Help with what?
But her voice was gone again, fading into static. Overhead, the announcer returned, richer in tone, like it now spoke from within every molecule in the arena.
Congratulations! You have survived the entanglement phase. Proceed to final table preparation.
Phil Hellmuth hunched forward, pale.
I hate poker, I hate quantum physics, I hate fog.
Chapter 5. Donna's Defection.
Daniel had barely survived the quantum chaos when 2 armored guards escorted him down a sterile corridor. The walls shimmered with mirrored panels that fractured his reflection into infinite versions of himself. Each step echoed unnaturally, as if the sound resisted leaving. The taller guard moved with the rigidity of military protocol. The shorter one, fluid, almost graceful, seemed eerily familiar.
Move.
Yeah. Just tell me if I'm walking into a trap or another tournament phase where my opponent is a 3-dimensional Rorschach test.
The shorter guard nudged the tall one, playfully, almost human. They reached a door that didn't slide or swing open. Instead, it folded into itself like unraveling origami, revealing a quiet chamber. Inside stood a single round table, 2 chairs, and a low ambient hum that felt sentient.
Sit.
Daniel obeyed. The taller guard exited. The remaining guard removed her helmet. It was Donna.
You?
I told you, I could only save you a few times.
She slid into the chair opposite him, calm and unreadable. From her belt, she produced a platinum chip, one that shimmered with fractal light patterns. She placed it between them.
This is the last hand protocol, a fail-safe embedded in the architecture of the tournament. If activated, it rewrites the game. 1 player, 1 hand, 1 final choice.
Sounds rigged?
It is, but not how you think.
She leaned in slightly. The air between them buzzed.
You were never supposed to win, Daniel. Round 17 was meant to be your end. A double agent from Sirius 9 had been planted to eliminate you. I altered the dealer matrix, adjusted your chip count when the drone scanner glitched.
Wait, what?
You won, yes, but not because you were supposed to. You broke the simulation. The odds engines are confused. The viewers don't know how to process it anymore.
Viewers?
Donna smirked faintly.
You thought this was a secret tournament? This is the highest-rated broadcast in the known galaxy. 17 planets are betting on your next move.
I didn't even brush my hair.
You're trending on Eltar Prime. #Negreanu or bust.
I was better off thinking this was just about cards.
She pushed the platinum chip toward him.
Use it when it matters most. It could save you, or expose something far worse.
A voice echoed from the mirror wall, deep, commanding.
Time's up, guard.
Donna stood, helmet back on, composure flawless.
Final table begins in 1 hour. Don't trust anyone who claims to be neutral.
At the door, she paused.
I saved you not because you're the hero, but because you might become something better.
Then she vanished into the hallway, leaving Daniel with a chip that might change more than just the game. Chapter 6. The Final Table.
The final table wasn't a table in any traditional sense. It was a platform suspended in a void of shimmering obsidian mist, echoing the psychic residue of every eliminated player. Beneath it, fragments of memory and loss swirled like constellations collapsing into black holes. 5 survivors remained, each seated equidistant, each illuminated by a shaft of light that pulsed to the rhythm of their heartbeat or soul. This was it, not just poker, a theater of legacies.
Daniel looked around at his opponents, each embodying a chapter of the tournament's mythos. Vanessa Selbst sat motionless, her gaze colder than vacuum. She didn't just read people, she dissected them. Antonio, the magician Esfandiari, wore a smirk carved from confidence and centuries of sleight-of-hand trickery. The air shimmered faintly around his fingers. Phil Hellmuth twitched and muttered under his breath, vibrating with unearned confidence and very earned paranoia. And then, Threxilian. Towering, calm, with eyes that held the memory of glaciers and fire. a Neanderthal descendant whose presence bent gravity. Hovering above them was the dealer, an AI projection in the shape of a perfectly tailored tuxedo. Its hands moved with elegance, though its face was featureless, glowing faintly with static.
The last hand begins in 12 minutes. You may prepare.
Just beyond the platform's edge stood Donna, helmet on, arms crossed behind her back, watching. Daniel locked eyes with her and mouthed a question.
Now?
Donna gave the slightest shake of her head.
Prepare? Prepare for what? This is poker. You don't prepare, you react. That's why I'm the greatest.
And that's why you've lost 3 straight coin flips and cried like a wet ferret.
Phil scowled.
I will own your planet.
At this point, Phil, the only thing you own is a coupon to the Galactic Buffet.
Threxilian said nothing. He simply exhaled, deep, slow, ancestral. The countdown continued. Lights above each player shifted hue as though reading their intentions. Daniel's pulse quickened. This was more than cards now. It was destiny, deception, and something older than language.
Cards.
The dealer's hands moved like poetry, flicking cards with sacred timing. Daniel peeked. Ace of spades, ace of clubs. He almost laughed.
No way.
Raise and
Call.
Fold.
Let's make it spicy. Re-raise.
Daniel glanced at Donna. She nodded, barely.
All in.
The pot grew massive, orbiting like a miniature sun in the center.
I knew it.
She folded.
I hate it when I'm right.
He folded too. Only Threxilian remained.
I call.
Cards on the table. Daniel revealed pocket aces. Threxilian showed Queen 10 suited.
Odd call.
It is not about this hand. It is about what comes after.
The flop, ace, 10, queen, top set for Daniel. The turn, 10. A tremor passed through the platform. The river, queen. Both had full houses, but Daniel's was higher. Light erupted. Silent fireworks tore through the void. The platform disintegrated into threads of energy. One by one, the other players vanished, dispersed like data. Only Daniel remained, chips glowing in his hands, melting into cosmic starlight.
You have won.
Daniel dropped to his knees. The silence was deafening. Donna approached, helmet now off, her expression unreadable.
That hand? Why did he call?
Because they wanted you to win.
Why?
Donna held up the platinum chip. Daniel took it. The world flickered, like an old film reel burning in its projector. Then, a voice, not Donna's, not human. It echoed through every atom of his being.
You are not the descendant of Earth's people. You are the child of its usurpers. They let you win to show you that dominance means nothing when it's built on a lie.
Daniel clutched his skull, reeling.
Then, I'm not the hero?
No, Daniel, you're the last bluff.
Epilogue. The bluff beyond the bluff.
Daniel stood alone in the vacuum-silenced remnants of the arena. The platform, the lights, the competitors, gone. Only fragments of star-forged tile lingered beneath his feet, dissolving into vapor like forgotten myths. In his hand, the platinum chip. It throbbed softly, like a second heart, not mechanical, not alien, something older, a relic of belief. Above him, the galactic trophy hovered, a crystalline obelisk encoded with the genetic memories of every defeated opponent. It shimmered with unspoken grief, history, and sacrifice. He reached out. The moment his fingers brushed the surface, the obelisk pulsed. A current of truth surged through him. Stories unspoken, bluffs uncalled, civilizations erased. No words, just weight.
Donna appeared from the shadows, silent as always. Her visor was retracted. Her face held something between defiance and mourning.
It's over.
Is it, or is this just the turn?
She paused.
You still don't get it. This wasn't about chips or pride. This tournament wasn't even about winning.
Then what was it?
Narrative control.
The words echoed like thunder in a vacuum.
Whoever wins here shapes the dominant history of your species for the next 1,000 years.
What?
Your chip stack wasn't just a bet. It was a vote. That last hand, it wasn't for the pot. It was for the myth, the lie they wanted to keep alive. That Earth's rise was destiny, not manipulation. That bluff was brilliance, not betrayal.
Daniel's grip on the platinum chip tightened. He thought of Kari's fury. of Threxilian's resignation, of Donna's cryptic warnings.
Then what happens if I fold now? If I walk away?
Then the bluff breaks, the story resets.
And then a voice, not male, not female, not of this dimension.
Player has activated the last hand protocol. Rewrite initiated.
The arena exploded into projections, holographic echoes of alternate histories, Neanderthal empires, peaceful alien contact, treaties in starlight, entire wars that had never happened. The myths peeled away, the truths emerged. Daniel shimmered, his form destabilized, the chip disintegrated, the obelisk shattered.
You undid the story. You gave the truth back to the ones who deserved it.
Then everything went dark. A voice in the room continues. The story pauses. Somewhere a fire crackles. Warmth returns. The lighting is soft, maybe candlelight, maybe starlight. A familiar voice picks up again, not booming, but cozy. Mischievous, sly, like the storyteller's been waiting all night for this moment.
And that, Donna Goldberg, was how your poker crush rewrote interstellar history with a single fold.
A woman lounging in a chair raises an eyebrow. She's wearing a Squid Game mask, but just for the drama. She lifts it to sip her champagne, her eyes gleaming with amusement.
Not bad. But you still forgot the part where I smuggled Daniel out of the facility in a laundry cart. Twice.
Across from her, the storyteller bows deeply, hand over heart.
Next year's anniversary story.
They clink glasses. A quiet laugh echoes, not from the room, but from the stars.
Somewhere out there, past the limits of known orbit, past logic and reason, a poker table resets. The cards are shuffled, chips stacked, and this time they might just be fair. The end. Mwahahaha.